radio show, Talk Radio, Paranormal Talk Radio, Into the Night. Tonight we're introducing Brother Grey Wolf. Really glad to have him here tonight. We've been trying to catch up to each other for a while. So he's gonna tell us some things about his Bigfoot experiences and everything like that. He's very knowledgeable in that area. Um, Brother Grey Wolf, go ahead. You know, let me hear what experiences you had and great adventures.
Well, hello, everybody out there in Bigfoot land. This is your brother Grey Wolf. For the people that know me, I've been doing this for about 30 years. I was, my first experience was I was driving big rig 18 wheeler, and I was going over a little pass in Utah, and there was snow on the ground, so I was going real slow. And out of the darkness comes this, because it was just about dusk, when it's dusk and the snow's out, it's still got that reflection light, and I could see this something walking up the hill as I'm crawling on the road. And this thing walked up the hill and crossed in front of my truck. And from then on, I was a believer, because this Bigfoot had his head at the height of my windshield on my big rig. And he was huge. I mean, the muscles I could see were just rippling. And I mean, he was like a muscle builder. I mean, there was no fat on this thing, and he was somewhat hairy. I mean, I've heard stories about them being hairy, but this one, his chest was not hairy at all. I mean, his chest was like black skin. And as he got up right in front of my truck, because I swear it took him 2 steps to get across that road, he turned and grinned at me. And
Friend.
his face was very human like. I mean, his face had the hooded nose, doesn't look like an ape. I don't even know why people even think they look like an ape other than the fact that they're hairy. He had a nose bridge, and he had very prominent uh, brow ridge, and a conical head, and he had hair going down the sides of his face from his head and down onto his shoulders, and that hair like got to his, I don't know, probably upper chest. And then his arms were hairy and his legs were hairy. And when he turned and faced at me and grinned at me, he had these like big blocky like teeth, but they were just like the size of a horse. So, they big blocky like horse teeth. And I didn't see any fangs. I didn't see any, claws on his hands. It was just fingernails. So he looked very human like. And I don't know what you're doing in the background, David, but I can hear it all. So obviously it's going to go on the recording.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Sounds like you're eating something, slopping or something.
I'm not eating
All this
anything.
stuff's going to go on the recording, right? You
This
understand that? All the stuff
y-
you're doing in the background is going to go on the recording.
yeah,
So,
yeah. This is we're turning
so
into Bigfoot Comedy Radio. Keep going,
I,
brother.
I love my little bro. He's good.
I love you too,
Works
man.
a lot.
We got all this technology going on.
He went on up the other side of that hill, and it. I stopped my truck and I got out, and there was only like a couple inches on the road because they've been plowing. But on the sides of the sides were like, shoot, probably 2 feet deep. And I tried to get my longest stride into his stride, and I couldn't do it. And I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, and he
Wow.
made me feel small. I mean,
Yes.
huge. I would say he was probably 11 foot, maybe. I don't know, somewhere in that range. Um, and probably, oh, 1,200, 1,400 pounds. I would think he's way over 1,000.
Wow.
And they, as in my research, I watch a lot of people see these 7 to 9 footers. A lot of the ones you see on film are female. Uh, and it's like they're so small compared to what I saw. I mean, this guy was humongous. I mean, I would probably come up. My head would probably have come up to his waist at 6'5".
Man.
So he was huge. And like I said, after I saw this, it was like, no, there's no denying it anymore. I have seen a Bigfoot in our real. This thing was totally real. And people ask me, well, what, are you on drugs? I'm like, I'm driving a damn big rig. I ain't on no drugs. I'm on a lot of caffeine trying to stay awake. You know, and that's what I saw. And from then on, I started, you know, researching on YouTube and watching videos and I remember when I was a kid, they used to show the Patterson film like in movie theaters, and you go in there and they have those little commercials and shit in the beginning of the movies. They don't do that stuff anymore, but they used to have like little short clips and stuff. So they used to show the Patterson film pretty regularly. And I remember seeing it as a kid, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's just crazy." But when you see one and you realize that they're real, it changes your whole outlook on life because it just was a realization that these things exist, which is something that we only think that we're the only ones here being humans, and the attitude of the world is like in this huge universe, and we're one little speck of sand on a beach compared to the universe. There's got to be other life forms out there. I mean, we're not
Right.
the only out here. I don't know what you're doing in the background, bro. It almost sounds like you're smoking something.
You're nutty, but no,
It's
no, no. I'm here.
real loud. I mean, you're gonna go, oh God, I look at all that stuff they were hearing. I was doing all this weird stuff in the background. I don't know what the
That's look. That's good. We and that'll make sure we give sound effects for the podcast. Add some excitement to it. Add some life. So everybody listen to all this
yeah,
craziness
everybody's
going.
gonna be wondering what the heck you're doing.
Yeah, but it's okay. Keep going because this is getting very interesting. I'm just like I said, I'm working out the uh the tech situations. Also, I got some people calling in, that are interested in the Bigfoot thing. So that's what you hear. You hear a lot of me dealing with that. But keep going because I'm
That's fine.
listening. It sounded really good.
Calling in, they can ask questions at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
But this was just the beginning. That was the beginning. That
Mhm.
was. It's gone so much farther since then, and I don't quite understand. At that point, I didn't understand why they picked me out to show me this because obviously they decide who they show themselves to because not everybody sees them.
Right. Correct.
To have them walk across in front of a vehicle has got to be a way of sharing their existence with people.
Yes.
So, you know, so where I went from there was I started researching the Native American beliefs because I figured that the Native Americans must have seen these. And to me, it made sense that they would have an understanding of these beings. Because us as white people, we just, excuse the term, us as humans, we just think we're the only ones, that we're the only people here on this planet. And if these things are as intelligent as I believe they are, because they have a lot larger brain than we do, and usually brain capacity just helps with intelligence. And if they've been around for as long as I believe they have been around, because I've read all the native legends on it, and I'll tell you, as much as I don't like the Finding Bigfoot guys, their website has the most extensive Native American legends of Bigfoot than any other site on the web. So
Sounds good.
you
Sounds
can
good.
go to the bfro.net and you can look up. It's called Pre-Columbian Legends, and they have some major legends about the Bigfoot people, the Sasquatch. Now, Sasquatch is a Salish term, which is comes from out here where I'm at. Out in Washington State, which Washington State's the highest sighting rate of any state in the country.
Yeah.
The first time I saw one was in Utah. But you know, the Salish term means Sasquatch means Harry the Man of the Woods, big, strong, that kind of stuff. They have other terms like Skookum means strong. Uh, and the people out here know all about them, and it's not a real big deal to them. It's something they've lived with in their verbal legends forever. They know out here that if you go up hunting in the woods and you're getting rocks and sticks thrown at you, you're invading the area of the Sasquatch. The Yakima call them Stiha Maha, and it means stick thrower Indians. And they knew that if they had the sticks and the rocks thrown at them, these people didn't want them in their area, so they wouldn't hunt in their area. They would leave them alone because they respected them as another tribe of people. So, the Native Americans looked at them as a lot different than we look at them, you know, and you know, I I uh, I got very involved in the Native American spirituality, and I met some very wonderful, amazing people that taught me a lot of amazing knowledge, not just about these beings, but about the spirituality that they live, the traditional people, not the
Hmm.
ones that have been converted. Because, you know, if you research it, the Native Americans got really screwed up by the white people. and it really was the first genocide, and it's so much worse than the Germans and the Jews ever were.
Hmm.
And most of them got forced to be converted, but there are some people like the Lakotas that refused to give up their spirituality. They didn't care if the government came and put them in jail. They didn't care.
They gave up a fight. They gave a good fight.
and
Yeah.
and they were the last ones to give up. Crazy Horse was the last ones to give up, and Crazy Horse was up in Canada. He went up through Montana through the Blackfoot and Blackfeet reservations and was up in Blackfeet reservation, and they basically got message to him that if he didn't come and give up, they were going to kill Sitting Bull. So, you know, Crazy Horse came back and gave up.